Brucey here, just going to do a little, very quick first impressions. I've done this with a couple of other things now. This is out of the box. You can see the unboxing video. I've just taken this out of the box. I've plugged it in. It's the wonderful Korg Monologue. And this is my first thoughts with no other impressions. What do I think of this straight out of the box before I've had time to play with it? Because I think this can be quite important sometimes with a new piece of gear. Just what are your first thoughts? It looks lovely. The thing I said in the unboxing video is the shame about the fact it comes with batteries and you don't get a power supply. I've got plenty of power supplies looking around, unfortunate, but if I was a new, you know, just starting out, or it's a lot of money not to throw in a, you know, a £5 power supply. I get, you know, in this day and age, everything is competitive to hell. So that £5 is a big part, might be a massive part of the margin of any company. So I kind of get it, but it's a shame, you know, put a couple of quid on the price and include a power supply. But the fact it runs on batteries is great, like the Volcas. I really like that, so you can just go and play video. So I've plugged it in. Love the red colour. The red matches all my branding. Look at the back of my phone. Everything is red in my studio. Red, we got red. My cabs are red, my guitars are red. It's part of my branding if you check out my website. So that's the reason I went with that. I think it's going to look great in the studio. First impressions, it's really well built. I love the wood panel effect. It's just a nice little touch on the back there. Just gives it a little bit of, I want to say class, maybe, you know, it's classy. Admittedly, with this one, it's going to be stuck in the rack, just in that space there. To Mr. Vi. He's probably thinking as well, why do you do a whole channel of guitar videos and now you're talking about keyboards? Well, I grew up in the 80s. I love synth music, you know, from soundtracks. That's what got me into composing soundtracks. You know, John Carpenter, that kind of stuff, analog synthesis. Big fan. You know, my first early inspirations were people like Howard Jones and Nick Kershaw. Jean-Michel Jarre, real kind of synth guys. But then I went over to guitars. As you can see, guitars are my life, guitars are everything, but I do love synthesis, and because I compose, I use a lot of synthesizers in my composition, and that's why I've gone back to getting some analog sounds in there. And my first impression here is sounds really nice and everything is really loud out. I love this little display. That's actually going to be really useful, bizarrely, for some of my teaching, because not only do I teach guitar, I teach music technology, I teach digital signal processing. And just to show someone straight off the effects of sine waves and square waves and things like that, it's pretty cool to see the effect they're having and what you're doing and how you're adding harmonics and things to the signal. It's pretty cool. Let's press this. I've never... So a fairly easy to use sequencer. Again, I'm just this is my first attempt at using this. A nice bitey filter there. So yeah, I'm loving this straight out of the box. I think there's going to be many hours of me disappearing. I've got no real negative things to say about this straight out of the box. Again, this is first impressions. Okay, maybe one thing. I've just pressed a few notes. You've seen me doing this in real time. This is not edited or anything. The keys, these kind of full-size mini keys, they're kind of slightly narrower than keys. Look at the keys there, and then the B's there. Okay, maybe on the video it's a little bit hard to kind of differentiate, but we're probably talking a millimetre or two. So when I'm playing here, I'm kind of used to this. That feels normal. Here, everything feels a little bit narrower, so I'm guessing I'm going to make a few mistakes. I like the fact you've got this additional octave here. I know I saw when I was reading up about this a few complaints, but that makes sense to me rather than going to C, because you want to put some bass line. Lots of people play in C and C minor. So when you've got your C here, you're kind of having to play all your bass lines where you, even if you're doing a simple, you kind of want that B flat is really cool, and then the G to give the fifth of the C is really useful. So all in all, a big thumbs up for me. A more in-depth review will come. I hope you found that useful.